Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel and a new episode of 15-Minute Ephemera. If you watched my short, Crafting in 60 Seconds, you probably saw that I had mentioned to save all of those old magnets. And I'm going to show you how to create a bunch of fun things with old discarded magnets. So what do we have? Well, I had started by I was making hidden paper clips. And I thought, there's got to be an easier way for me to just make a bunch of stuff en masse with a lot of the tools that I have. So this is what I was originally making, was just a tab with a cover for let's see, do I have a piece? This is not a very good piece for a paper clip. And that was fine. But I started thinking about the magnets that I've used before and how I could make them a little better. So what we're going to make are a variety of magnets that we can pop into our journals. And I just put a couple on here so you could see. Here's one. That's just a magnet. Doesn't really go with this one, but there you go. And it just pops right on there. And then I think I have another one back here somewhere. There's another one. And this is on a thicker piece of cardstock. Oops, that one didn't want to stay on there very well. There we go. And you can make little tabs that way. So we're going to do a couple variations just so you can see in 15 minutes or less. Now, I do have some of these already cut out, so we're going to use what we have. So the first one is kind of a traditional. We're going to make this. So all you need is this is one that was purchased. You've probably seen these before. And so we're going to duplicate that. So all you're going to need is a piece of, where's my paper? You're going to need a piece of paper that's going to fit these both on one page. So let's just see if this one will work. Okay. And all you're going to do is line them up. I did already round the corners. I'm just going to pop this on here. I know that this is plenty long. And because this is a magnet and it does take a little bit to dry, I would suggest just leaving it, putting it aside, and waiting until it dries entirely before you cut it out and then decorate it. So this is idea number one. Now you're putting this upside down so your curved ends are there, and you're leaving just a tiny little gap right there. And you press it down, and you put it aside, and you wait. And eventually, you're going to end up with something like this or this. That's less than 15 minutes. This one is a side tab or tuck. So you could also cut this out, and make it look more like a tab if you wished. But it's very simple. You're just taking a piece of paper, and we'll just take this one. You're folding it in half. We'll just make this a top one. And for the fun of it, we will just do all four of these. Do we want all four? Well, we're doing all four now. And we're just going to pop down some little pieces that we already have. So I've got this one. And again, you can just pop this on here. Press it down. I am going to make sure that that fits and it's the same size. I'm going to snip it off with my scissors. And now I'm going to place it back on here. And it doesn't have to match up, normally your... Why did I use this glue? I don't know. Oh, I meant to use Fabri-Tac. So, sorry. Note to self. I'm going to leave that alone, set it aside. And now I have something like this, just with my little scraps. How easy is that? But if that's not all, let's make one with just the tab. So we just used the tab by itself. Let's use one of my digitals, this lemon. That seems like a fun one. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to take a scrap. This one will work fine. I'm going to see that it needs to be cut about right there. I am going to cut it in. I'll just cut it in 2. Let's just make sure it all looks okay. That's a little bit big on the end. Pop it down here, make sure it fits. We can always shore it up a little bit when we're done. And I'm just putting this on there. And I know that this is bigger, so I'm just going to slide this. And a shout out to our City View Dental team for thinking about me and asking if I could use the leftover magnets that we had. And I certainly said yes. Now, I've done some other things, but this with magnets, but this one is definitely a 15-minute ephemera craft. I don't need to do anything except set this aside. And now I have automatic little tab toppers like I showed you before. So there you have it, 15-minute ephemera. And we have a variety of different types of magnets for you to use in your journals or your planners or whatever you choose to use them in. Oh, that one is a paper clip, which I gave up and thought this is easier. So I hope that helps, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you have not and you like what you see, take a second to subscribe and like this video. It's free, and it really does help, I can promise you. And I love to see your comments if you are so inclined. And for all of those of you returning, thank you so much for being a part of the channel. And for those of you who are newly subscribed, thanks for taking the time. We will see you next time for another 15-minute ephemera. And until then, remember to take time to just be. Cheers.